Have you ever had that feeling, that quiet nagging sense that you're wearing shoes that aren't quite yours? They might look good, they might even be what everyone else is wearing, but your feet just ache. You've been walking in them for so long you've almost forgotten what it feels like to be barefoot, to feel the solid ground beneath you. This feeling, this ache of inauthenticity, is one of the most profound and common pains in the human experience. We live in a world that constantly asks us to be something else, smarter, richer, funnier, more disciplined, more spiritual, less sensitive, more like them. And so we learn to perform. We learn to contort ourselves into shapes we think will be more acceptable, more lovable. We put on shoes and we walk and we ache. But what if I told you that your original design, your barefoot on the earth self, is not a flaw to be corrected, but a map to be followed? What if there is a language that can help you read that map? Tonight, I want to share with you one word from that language with you. It's a framework I've come to see not as a rigid system of rules or predictions, but as a profound descriptive language for the human soul, a language called human design. It suggests we each have an energetic blueprint, a divine design. This language has 64 core words, themes, or energies. They call them gates. And tonight we are going to fall in love with just one. We're going to explore the sacred, revolutionary, and deeply healing power of human design, gate 10. The gate of the behavior of the self, or as I like to call it, the gate of loving the God within you. Now, to understand gate 10's role, you have to understand its home. It resides in what human design calls the identity center, a vortex of energy right in the center of your chest that governs your sense of self, your direction, and your capacity for love. Think of it as your soul's magnetic north. The center is the source of the grandest expression of love, a beautiful tapestry woven from different threads. There's gate 15, the love of humanity and the extremes, the rhythm that embraces diversity and accepts the flow of life. There's gate 46, the love of body, the temple of our spirit, a deep appreciation for the sensual and physical experience of being in the flesh. There's gate 25, the love of spirit, a universal unconditional love that accepts all things without judgment, often called the love of the Creator for its creation. These are magnificent, expansive loves, but they are all anchored by one pivotal energy. Gate 10, the love of self. Because how can you truly love humanity if you cannot love the one human you are responsible for? How can you cherish your physical temple if you despise its inhabitant? How can you tap into universal love if you make an exception for yourself? Gate 10 isn't just one of the loves. It's the foundation upon perhaps which the other loves are built. It's the core integrity that makes every other expression of love honest and sustainable. Now, we all have access to this energy. Human design isn't about boxing you in or predicting someone versus the other. It's about understanding your unique relationship with these universal themes. Think of it like a set of energetic sliders for each gate. Intensity, how strong you feel it. Frequency, how often it shows up. And quality, how healthy it's expressed. If gate 10 is defined in your personal chart, it just means that frequency slider is turned up and perhaps the intensity. It's a constant lifelong theme for you. But whether it's a constant hum or a passing whisper, we are all learning to master the quality of this energy. And the quality of gate 10 unfolds across the spectrum. At its lowest, most distorted frequency, it operates from a place of shadow. At its highest, it is a gift to the world. and its most transcendent divine state, its highest expression of pure being. The shadow of Gate 10 is called self-obsession. And in our modern world, the shadow has become an epidemic. It manifests in two polarized yet equally painful ways. On one end of the pole, we have the loud, obvious expression, self-aggrandizement. This is the energy we see and often recoil from, the performative self-love that is really just ego, the constant need for validation, the belief that one's own story is the only story that matters. It's the endless scroll of curated perfection on social media, which is not an expression of self-love, but a cry for it. But on the other end of the pole is a far quieter, more insidious form of self-obsession called self-denial. This is the voice of the relentless inner critic, the one who replays every mistake on loop, whispering, "You're not good enough. You're a fraud. What's wrong with you?" It's the person who believes they are flawed, so broken that they are unworthy of love, or of success, or even attention. This may look like humility, but it's a deception. It is still an obsession with the self, a fixation on one's own perceived lack. Both the narcissist and the self-hater are trapped in the same small room, staring at their own reflection. One loves what they see, the other hates it. But neither can look away. Our culture makes mastering this gate one of the most poignant challenges of our time. We are bombarded with distorted examples. We see the selfish expression of self-love and become terrified of being arrogant, so we swing to self-deprecation. We see the impossible standards of beauty and success and feel the crushing weight of inadequacy. The world screams, "Be yourself," but then it hands us a 1,000-page manual on what that self is supposed to look like. It's no wonder we are confused. It's no wonder so many of us are afraid to even begin the work of true self-love, worried that we'll get it wrong, that we'll become one of the caricatures we so dislike. But true self-love is neither arrogance nor self-pity. It is a quiet, steady reverence. It is the journey of coming home. It is a journey the poet Derek Walcott described in the poem Love After Love. He writes, "The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at each other's welcome, and say, 'Sit here, eat.' You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you. All your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart, take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life." That feasting on your life, that is the journey out of the shadows. It's the journey into the gift of Gate 10. The gift we call naturalness. Naturalness is not something you achieve by trying. It's what emerges when you stop trying to be anything other than what you are. It's the freedom of being at home in your own skin. The shoes come off. You can feel the earth again. It's an effortless authenticity that radiates from you. You move with a quiet confidence that says, "I am enough." And this is where Gate 10 becomes a powerhouse, because its energy of self-love doesn't stay locked inside you. It's designed to connect and manifest. In the human design language, it forms 3 distinct pathways or channels that show us what authentic self-love looks like in action. First, Gate 10 can reach out of the awareness center, our source of intuition and connecting. And this can connect to gate 57 to form the channel of the perfected form. So that's gate 10 to 57, what is called the channel of the perfected form, from the awareness center to the identity center. This is self-love as embodied wisdom. It's that gut feeling, that instinctual knowing of what is right and safe for you. It's the grace of a cat that always lands on its feet. People with this energy strong in them have an innate sense of how to behave in any situation to preserve their well-being. Imagine a skilled sailor on a stormy sea. They aren't frightened. They aren't fighting the waves. They are in a deep, intuitive dance with them. Their hand on the tiller is not rigid but responsive, feeling the subtle shifts in the wind and water. That is the channel of the perfected form. It's not a mental calculation. It's a profound physical trust in the self's ability to navigate the currents of life. It teaches us that loving yourself means listening to the quiet, unerring wisdom of your own intuition. Second, gate 10 can connect down to the sacral center. The potent motor life force energy linking with, in this case, gate 34, to create what is called the channel of exploration. This is self-love as empowered conviction. This is the unshakable energy to follow your own path, no matter what. It's the fuel to be unapologetically you. Of course, when this is a healthy energy. This channel isn't here to be told what to do. It's here to discover who it is by doing. Think of the great sculptor who sees a masterpiece locked inside a marble block. They don't ask for permission. They don't conduct a poll. They pick up a hammer and chisel, driven by an inner vision. They begin to chip away everything that is not the statue. The gate 10 to gate 34 is the sculptor of the self. Their life is the art form. Their conviction is their tool. It teaches us that loving yourself means having the courage to actively create the life that is true to your being. And third, the third channel is gate 10, reaching up to the throat, our center of manifestation and expression, connecting with, in this case, gate 20, to form what is called the channel of awakening. This is self-love as spoken truth. It's the ability to say in that present moment, this is who I am. This is what I believe. The words of Mahatma Gandhi perfectly capture this energy. Quote, "My life is my message." Imagine a perfectly tuned bell. When struck, it doesn't hesitate. It doesn't wonder what sound it's supposed to make. It simply rings, clear and true, sending a pure vibration into the world. That is gate 10 to 20. When your behavior and your words are seamless expression of your core identity, you become a walking, talking embodiment of truth. And that authenticity is an awakening, both for you and everyone you meet. It teaches us that loving yourself means living your truth out loud. Do you see the pattern? Intuition, power, expression. Self-love isn't passive, it's dynamic. Creative force that is meant to be lived, felt, and shared. And the most beautiful paradox is this: the more deeply you inhabit your own authentic self, the more you empower everyone around you. The gift of naturalness is contagious. When you give yourself permission to be real, you create a space where others feel safe to take off their own masks. You don't have to preach it. You just have to be it. Your life becomes the sermon. This points us towards a divine pattern. If we were to imagine this energy of gate 10 in its most perfected, flawless, highest expression, what would it look like? Throughout history, we see archetypes of this perfection. I believe the most flawless embodiment of all 64 gates, including gate 10, is found in the person of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, stay with me. This isn't about religion. It's about resonance. It's about a pattern of truth. Christ was the ultimate master of Gate 10. He moved through the world with absolute authenticity. He knew who he was, the Son of God. His identity was unshakable. And because he was so perfectly anchored in his divine self, every action, every word, every miracle was a pure expression of that identity. He wasn't trying to be divine. He simply was. His self-love was so complete, it became indistinguishable from a perfect, unconditional love for all of humanity. When he said, "I am the truth, the way, and the life," we can see this through the lens of Gate 10. The way is the path of authenticity. The truth is the alignment with our divine nature. The life is the vibrant energy that flows when we live it. He was so perfectly himself that he became the doorway for everyone else to find their truest selves. He showed us that the ultimate expression of self-love is to become a conduit for divine love. This brings us to the highest potential of this energy. It's the highest expression, what some call a CD. In this case, the highest expression for Gate 10 is called being. At this level of consciousness, the journey of the self comes to a beautiful conclusion, or an highest expression. The ego, with all of its fears and striving, dissolves. The question of who am I is no longer necessary because the answer is I am. The separate self merges into the universal self. It's a state of profound peace and oneness with all of life. Self-love transforms into universal love because you see the self in everything. It is the destination the poet Rumi points to in his famous line, quote, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there." The state of being is that field. It's a place beyond judgment, beyond striving. It's a quiet, radiant presence. I believe it's the state of sanctification that scriptures speak of. A soul so aligned with the divine that it has no disposition to do anything but good, to be anything but love. Here's a small poem to try to capture a whisper of this state. The search is done, the runner stills, the self I thought I had to be, a phantom on the hills. No mirror now, no name, no face, just endless love in endless space. Just this, just being, just grace. So, how do we get there? How do we walk this path from the painful shadow of self-obsession, self-denial, to the joyful gift of naturalness, and perhaps even glimpse the sacred field of being? We practice. We start by taking off the shoes that don't fit. We begin the sacred work of unbecoming everything that isn't truly us. It starts with the small choices. When your inner critic starts its monologue, can you lovingly say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I choose to believe in my worth"? When you're about to say yes out of obligation, can you pause and honor the no that lives within your heart? It's about taking inventory of your life and asking with radical honesty, does my work reflect my soul? Do my relationships nourish my truth? Does the way I spend my time honor the preciousness of my life? This isn't about a sudden dramatic overhaul. It's line upon line, precept upon precept. It's a gentle, consistent turning toward your own North Star. The great writer and philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson, a true champion of Gate 10 spirit, said, quote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." This is your great accomplishment. To excavate the magnificent, authentic soul that God designed you to be from beneath the rubble of expectation and fear. Your journey with Gate 10 is the most intimate journey you will ever take. It is the journey home to yourself. And the paradox is that in coming home to yourself, you come home to God. In loving the unique divine spark within you, you learn to see it and love it everywhere. The greatest gift you can possibly give to your family, your community, to the world, to the one you love, is the gift of your own realized authentic self. Not a perfect self, a real self, a whole self. So I ask you again, what shoes are you wearing? Do they ache? What would it feel like to take them off? To stand right now barefoot on the solid ground of your own being and to feel, perhaps for the first time in a long time, completely and utterly at home. Be you. The world has been waiting for you, and only you, this whole time. Thank you and good night.